Okay,
Cool.
here we are for a rematch. We got GoldenArk on the Golden Road deck. We're going to find out what's in there. I'm playing slow Mage, so we both kind of know that already. Let's roll off for the dice. I got a 5.
You got a D6?
Yeah, big stack here.
Sitting right in front of me. I didn't even see it.
4. Alright, I'll go first.
You're up.
By the way, I found out this. If you press H like hotel, it hides your hand. Because sometimes it's enormous.
Okay. Nice.
I'm going to mulligan this hand. This hand doesn't have any
Hold
early
on. Should
counter
I have
spells.
drawn just then, or should I be waiting?
Oh, you can go ahead and get your 7, and then you decide if you want to mulligan or not.
Yep.
Well,
Actually, you know what?
this hand's pretty similar.
Okay.
At least we got three reliable resources. All right, I got first, so I'll start off. Let's lead with this. And, oh, we turn turns on.
Delving. Didn't think you like that card.
30 on, and right there. Okay, let's go on here. Yeah, I did a deck tech for this video. Basically, this deck has plenty of card advantage. Make sure you draw. It's your turn. So sometimes this deck just needs speed. It just needs to be able to pay 0 and dig a little bit.
There you go.
Go with Roderick. Okay.
If I make my card bigger, is that seen in your video? You can't really see that.
I don't
It's
see
all
that.
driven by you.
I have my own. Whenever I hold Alt on the card, it takes up like the whole screen so people can read it. I'll pass to you.
Cool.
So here I'll just leave up mana. May have counters, but I can also do my quest. So that's the play for a little bit. Nice, cheap, efficient quests. There's Millennium Blade. Cost 2. Cost 1 to strike with. Does 1 damage, but you can also... Oh, you should swing with your creature.
Yeah, okay. My
Go ahead.
bad.
Tap him sideways. I'll take 2. Into your turn, I will do this quest. And it's pick an ability. So I got Fizzle, Blizzard, and Selenian's Belongings. I've got to set a Discord mute key so I can talk to this video real quick. Give me a second. Alright, let me test that real quick. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Oh, I have to hold it. Alright, that makes sense. Okay, sorry, we're back in it. So quest goes on the bottom. I get to pick from one of these two. So do I want a counter spell or do I want a Blizzard? I think versus his deck, I think I'll take the Blizzard because there's a couple turns where I'm gonna need to be able to turn off his hero from attacking or just die, and that's gonna be a big part of that. Here's a copy of this. You just want to read that, you're welcome to. But put it somewhere where you won't get confused. It's not on the field. Alright, so let's untap, draw. And we just pass. Here you go. I'll put Blizzard over here, and you can read it if you want.
A bummer, there's no untap.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm actually working on getting... I already found the button. I just have to get into scripting. And
Nice.
it might be easy, but I just haven't really delved.
It's a pretty nice luxury once you get used to it.
Oh, yeah. So we got Eye of the Storm. Wow, main deck Boundless Agony.
That should make my Millennium Blade swing for free now.
Yeah, it's a 0 cost, 2 damage swing. Oh,
So
what am I doing? I need to interrupt something. I'm sorry. We'll nether fracture this Boundless Agony, so it's just a counter. Hey man, you asked to
yeah,
rematch,
right.
so
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay,
so
so what is that graveyard?
yeah, just goes to the graveyard then. Which means the Millennium Blade is still. And so make sure you tap your 3 manas when you do that, your 3 resources. There you go. Well, that still, yeah, it still costs resources to use, but you can still swing with the Broderick this turn.
Yeah, I just realised.
Oh, it does that in here too. God, I can't use that key. I'll take 2. I mean, this pretty much works for my angle. I'm just a Drago deck, so the more that often that I can, pretty much if I'm only taking 2 a turn, I'm loving that. That's fine with me. So if you ever end up playing these slower style control decks, this is just how they work. You have to like accept a reasonable amount of damage and just try to see the game, like how you're gonna win, like 8 turns from now, something like that. So he's got a face down resource. He's up to 4 now.
That ability you had earlier, that's destroyed now? Is that gone?
Oh, it's in my hand. It's over here if you want to see it. I just gave you a copy because so you can understand how it works. Like you can interact with it. So it sits in play and it shoots all your stuff at the start of your turn, which means none of it's going to be able to attack. It keeps doing that every turn until a card leaves my hand, which means if you make me discard, the Blizzard will break. If I place a resource, Blizzard breaks. If I use a counterspell, Blizzard breaks.
Okay, cool. I'm going to use my resources.
We're paying 4. What do we got? Alright, I'm going to respond to that. As you're casting it, oh, that's not until it enters play. This trigger doesn't happen until the weapon enters play, so wait for it to resolve if you're against a counterspell deck like me, because you don't want to reveal what you're playing. I mean, there's nothing in play, but my plan is to play this. It's gonna shoot your hero for 1, and then you have to pay 1 extra to cast that spell, otherwise it's countered. In this case, it's countered. And then your hero will take 1 damage.
But the card's not destroyed, right?
It does, it goes to the graveyard. That's how the counters work.
Oh, that's so nasty.
That's interrupts, so they have upsides and downsides. I'll take 2. And so as you learn to play against this deck more, you learn to play like this card. It only costs 1, so I have it all the time. And half the time I'm just, you have to kind of learn. I need an extra resource to play around this card. It slows your deck around a lot. I think I'm actually going to delve into the turn. Let's flip that over and we'll delve. Alt Shift lets me see the cards without my opponent seeing them.
So even though my card got destroyed, then I still should be getting either storm counter, right?
That's correct. Yeah, you will have 2 of those because you cast, or more. I don't remember. I think you either stormed on turn 3 and you've cast 2 spells, so you should be at 2 counters. Yeah, I don't really want this extra daze effect right now. I already have 2 good hard counters that are double in my hand, so I essentially have 4 counters in my hand. I don't need a daze. I'll take the draw though. Oops, didn't mean to show him that. Other one goes under. Untap all this. Draw for turn. Alright. So we're sitting on 4 resources. We need that. don't think this is going to get a lot of use this game. He probably doesn't look like he has a lot of creatures, so let's just play that down. And we'll pass. Take 2. Or you're untapping. Sorry.
Sorry, I was untapping. Yep.
All good. So we have 5 resources. We've also got this. I have to change that button. That's not working.
So just play that.
Huh, interesting. So I'm just going to let that resolve. So that goes off. And then you get to see my hand, which... Oh, yeah, that's a bad part about this board. I mean, I like that it snaps the cards, but sometimes when you pull your cards down, it snaps them into piles, into the grid. So if you have to show people your hand, do it on the side, not on the main mat, because the side won't... side has
And
no
you've
grid.
got no allies.
Yeah, so... That's maybe not the best discard spell. Rogue has some really good ones. That one is going to miss a lot.
A bit lazy. I didn't fix a sideboard specific to your deck.
Yeah, well,
but that's all good.
It's no issues. I can show you cards like Stab in the Dark that are a little bit better if you're, because you can get like 8 really good 1-drop discards, so you're really reliable. This one is going to miss quite often. There's a lot of decks that run no out. Even your deck runs 4 total, so this does resolve. It just goes to your graveyard because there's nothing to pick, but you can see my hand. In fact, I'll move my hand here, and you can continue to see the cards that were ahead in it. But the cards I draw afterwards, I'm going to keep in my hand.
Well, given that I played a ability, I'm going to play a quest.
Yeah, go for it. Alright, so he's completing 2 copies of that same one. So
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and draw again.
I can't remember if I put a resource count at the start.
I've been going first, and I'm at 5, so you probably did place a resource this turn.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And because I played this card that gives me 3 counter.
Yeah, good job remembering. I'll take 2. Now our opponent's at this spot where he has to either apply more pressure, and if he passes, I just get to get something out of my graveyard and put it back in my hand. Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and tap that weapon and your hero, and then I will take another 1. Also, I think you already swung with Broderick. I'm going to tap him for you. I took that damage.
For YouTube people, I'm pretty hopeless at the tapping, so bear with me.
Well, this is part of Tabletop Simulator's a little bit laggy, and Golden's all the way over in Australia, so...
That's just me, dude. It's got nothing to do with that.
No, it does, man. When I was playing the European guys who were hosting games, I was getting some lag, and I was like, oh, this is what it feels like. Like your stuff's tapping all awkward, and so they're trying to help you out, but you end up flipping the cards everywhere. Alright, so I've got some mana open. Into turn, I think I'm gonna... Alright, looking at my graveyard here. I'll pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna complete... Oh, pay 4. I'll complete this one, so I get to put an ability card from my graveyard on my deck. I will put this card... Yeah, so I'm gonna draw that. Basically, it goes on top of my deck, and then it just goes right into my hand. So this essentially just goes into my hand. In fact, I'll leave it over here so you can see it, since... I don't know if you've played a ton of like competitive card games, but usually what you do is you write this stuff down. You have a little notepad, and you write all this stuff down. I don't want to make you do that. I'll just keep the hand over here so you understand. This is like your form of writing down. Alright, that will work. So I do need to lay down a resource. Alright. I can't quite... I need that to go away. So 5-5. I need to continue to build. I'm not sure what exactly I want to throw into the bus right now. These are expensive. This will have some value later, and we're getting there. I'm gonna complete this quest now. Delving. Interesting. I definitely don't want that. And this will probably end up being useful, so I think I'm probably going to keep that on top. Our opponent's got 5 mana, so he can start playing big stuff, so I need to keep Encounter Magic open. So I need to build a resource here. So the only thing is that you actually don't know what I'd be able to resource, because this stuff would be in my hand. You just know a card would leave it. I don't really mind you knowing in this case. Completed that quest already. So here's our resources. Did that one, did that one, did that one, did that one. Those are both face downs. So, looks like current clock is 3 damage a turn. 2 from Broderick, 1 from the sword.
Okay. Probably play this quest, so 2.
Oh, junk boxes. What are you naming with jump boxes? I mean, you know my hand, ability allies. I pretty much have only abilities, so.
Yeah, abilities pretty much.
All right, well then, this is still the active hand that you know about, and then you get to see my other card in my hand, which is right here. I happen to draw an ally, so there are a couple allies on my deck, but not very many. So you named abilities, so you get a choice of these 5 abilities, and it just goes to the graveyard.
Sorry, say it again.
Yeah. You're doing this quest, so you named ability, so you just pick an ability, and I discard it. That card's gone, yeah.
Oh, hold on, I didn't realize it's selected, but I was thinking the one that was down
Oh,
here.
it's already gone. Actually, what you have over here, you just copied my hand. This is my actual hand over here. You had an old copy of it. So by using your discard, you're able to see, oh, my opponent's hand has actually changed a little bit from what I thought it was.
Right, but did I get rid of that ability, or was it a random?
I already used it as a resource, the ability you're looking for. So I got rid of that. So you still get to pick any ability. So you just pick one in my hand, and it goes to the graveyard. And that choice is up to you. Okay, that works. Testing my mic mute. Okay, 1 Mystic Denial down. Alright, back to your turn. Take 1 from the sword, and you gotta pay 1 for that sword as well. Got it, I took 1. I'll take 2 from Broderick. Alright, we're at the point in the game where we kind of need to leave... counter magic open for... He could be playing 6 drops or super good weapons, so... At this point, I need to be leaving counter magic open. Oops. We'll do 4... Eh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could go this face down. I don't really get much from flickers right now. Probably gotta play patiently, so we'll put that down. Pass to you.
Thank you, sir.
This is where me having those resources that just delved is a bit of an issue, because I just need cards in my hand for resources, and they didn't actually put cards in my hand. So, they're good sometimes, but maybe not ideal right now. Yeah, so we
I think that's what happened to me the other night.
so we need to basically be able to count. Oh, he's got another one. That's bad. And I can't
Yeah,
interact.
hold on, I didn't pick up.
Yeah, go ahead, draw. So yeah, our flickers can eventually get back. I'm probably going to use it to get back like a Mystic Denial and a Blizzard. That's 7 mana. Or if we're able to wait a little bit longer, I can grab Blizzard Mana Agate. That'd be 4, and I could try to wait a little while for something else. It'd be nice to be able to flickers back a counterspell into play, my Mystic Denial, and Blizzard will save me some life, but I think I'd rather have the card advantage, so if anything, Mystic Denial Mana Agate would be the play, so I need to be able to play Mana Agate, which is 2. Yeah, retrospect, I think I should have played Mana Agate with my 2 mana. I don't know what I was doing. Definitely should have played Mana Agate, get it into play with Mystic Denial Mana open, and then on his turn, just, if he does nothing, sack the Mana
Playing
Agate.
6.
Playing 6. Alright, well, I'm definitely going to kill that thing. I'm going to counter that. So, you kind of knew what's in my hand. That's part of playing against this deck. You got to... If you have discard like this, usually you want to just shred your opponent's interaction so that they can't beat you. That's what rogues do. So this thing gets to sit and play now, and it's going to interrupt the next spell you cast too, so it's kind of brutal.
Well, hold on. Doesn't that get destroyed because you've used it?
Nah, so it has this effect. The top part is like when you cast it. So the top part is trying to result...
It's
like,
ongoing, I just realised.
yeah, it's like a built-in 2-for-1.
Yeah, okay. That sucks. Alright, listen, learned.
Yeah, you're up to 4 counters in your eye there as well. Probably not going to get a lot of use out of it this game, but I don't know, you might. I mean, you know I have a protector, so... Yeah, I'll take 1 from the sword. 2 more from Broderick. Down to 10 health.
I can't believe I missed the ongoing because I thought it pretty much was used.
Let's go like this. So that's 6. This will be 7, 8. Alright, our opponent knows we have no counters now, so we still have a Mystic Denial sitting in play. He can wreck that with something else, so I think I want to... So flickers cost 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, if I flickers, I'd have to be able to get Mana Agate. Let me go ahead and Mana Agate now. Let's cast Mana Agate for 2. And then I'm going to sack it for 1. Draw 2 cards. So we played our resource for the turn already. That's okay. That's going to be a good play. I like that a lot. We're going to cast Spell Suppression on your junk boxes. It still works as a resource, but the quest part is silenced until you get rid of Spell Suppression. It's a weird play, but that's how it works. We'll probably move this on, like, here, just that way it's all out of your way. So this quest is now It's essentially flipped. It stays up, so if you ever do get rid of this ability, you can still complete it. But for now, this quest has no text. It's 4 mana up, so with 4 mana up, I could just cast this dude, and hopefully that holds us up for a little while. I'm gonna hope that's the deal. Let's try that. Alternatively, I could just go ahead and shoot Broderick off, but he's hitting me for 2 a turn anyways. I think I like getting this guy into play while I can. That guy's pretty good. You want to make sure you read him. He's a protector, and I don't know if you've really run into a lot of those, so I'll go over how that works again when you go to attack. And then he has this ability called Eternal, which means instead of going to the graveyard, he gets reshuffled into the deck when he dies. You can also see that when this creature's destroyed, he does damage to your hero equal to the number of resources I have, and I heal that much. So right now, he would shoot your face for 8 and heal me for 8 when he dies. So we're down to 3 cards at this point. I've got 1 Flickers, 1 Blizzard, and a Eye the Storm in play. Or Eye the Storm in my hand. So we'll be able to zap Giants back. Hey, Gold, let me make sure I explain this correctly. This thing can't interrupt resources. In fact, nothing can interrupt a resource coming into play. Don't know if you knew that, but now you do. So I'm just letting you know, you actually have to cast a card for this thing. Like, it's a guaranteed is going to get 2 spells. That's just how it is.
So I'm just reading the text on it again. It's still a little bit confusing. So the first one says interrupt card.
Yeah, think of it like...
Says,
good.
Well, and then it says when an opponent plays a card, destroy Mystical Denial if you do interrupt that card. So, but didn't you not destroy my card on that last hand?
I interrupted 2 arms, which took up your whole turn pretty much. And so this, while it's waiting to resolve, so I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of the stack before, but imagine that there's not even a table here. Like, when I'm trying to cast this spell from my hero's hand, like, I'm moving it over here. So before it's even in play, like, just pretend this little magic spell is trying to leave my wizard's hand. The moment it leaves the wizard's hand, I mean, and this is kind of dorky, but it's just the best way I can think of to explain it. So what happened is, let's put it like this: you cast this spell, so this is happening first. Here's your 2 arms over here. So you paid 6, you cast this, and this is trying to come into play, and then I cast this. Oops, how annoying. So neither of these is actually in play yet. They're waiting to resolve. It's like, if you've played World of Warcraft, it's like, think of the character, you know, when they try to cast a spell, some spells take like 5 seconds. Did you play WoW? I can't remember.
Yeah, a fair bit.
Okay. So think of every time you cast a spell, think of it like you're trying to cast a mage, like Portal to Shatrath or something. It takes like 5 seconds. And during that time, opponents can respond. And so this spell is like 2 spells built into one. Think of Mage counterspell, so it's just straight up, it's going to interrupt it. And then it's also a Mage counterspell that sits in play for the next card you use. And if you're curious why they don't affect at the same time, so the top half is the interrupt card. That hits, and then as soon as this interrupts that card, it lands in play and has an ongoing effect. So, well, that's the best way to explain it, but it's got an instant effect on the stack, and then as soon as it resolves, that effect goes off, and then the card sits in play waiting to interrupt the next card.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good play.
Yeah, this is a card that is hard to beat. I drew 2 of them. I mean, not hard to beat the whole game, but it's brutal when it's in play. Oh, so I want to make sure we go over this protector. Here's how protectors work. It's kind of like taunt. If you played Hearthstone, it's similar. So what happens is when you declare an attack, let's say right now you're declaring an attack at my hero, I can choose to intercept that attack like this. So instead of like a tapping to attack, these guys have the ability to tap to jump in front of the way and block something. So let's say you chose to attack my hero. I would tap my protector like this, and now all of a sudden he's in front of the attack, and he would take the 1 damage from your dagger, and then you would take 4 damage from my guy hitting you back. But then if Broderick went to attack, my protector's already tapped, so he cannot interact anymore. So that's how that works.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I'm going to let you, because you may want to eye the storm or figure out your turn first before you attack. So now you know that I have the protector in play, so you determine what you want to do.
If my rogue had stealth, and I've actually wanted to understand this the other day, but I just didn't get a chance to ask online or whatever. But if my rogue had stealth, can it bypass the protection?
Yes, that is actually all stealth does. Oh, it didn't go in there.
Okay. Right, well, in that case, I'm probably not going to hit with my...
Yeah, Millennium Blade, not its best without another weapon in play. Are you going to swing with Broderick into the protector? Okay, so then...
Sure am.
Let me also show you this. So, if you choose to attack into him, I don't need to protect, because he gets to remain untapped.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so if it was that case, let me just show you. You'd do this, my guy would take 2, Broderick would die, but he's still untapped. So then if your hero chose to attack me, I could still tap my hero to block against yours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just how protectors work. Okay, so you're choosing to swing at me with Broderick. I will go ahead and block the damage from Broderick. So I will protect against him. Broderick will die. Now your hero's got the Assault 1. You know what? A guy I was playing against, he really liked using a dice next to his hero to represent the Broderick Assault. Because sometimes you get a couple in the graveyard. It's easy to forget. So that's something he liked to do. Alrighty, are we swinging with weapon or nah? Alright, he is. So then we will take a total of 2. And let's untap. Alright, so with 8 mana, I can play land. I could actually play land Blizzard, and then just let Blizzard sit in play. Let's see. I can play land Blizzard. So I'll have, that's right, this is, I have 8 now, so I'll have 9. So land Blizzard gives me 7 left. I can do this now. So 7 mana, I should probably zap Giants now. I'm talking to myself here, Golden, give me a minute. Alright, so we could also...
Yeah, no trouble.
If we flickers now, we get another Mystic Denial. I don't think Mystic Denials stack. I think both of them go off at the same time and interrupt something, so that's a terrible play. I'm scared of losing this to discard, but that's just part of the deal. I've also got... Am I muted? Hey, Golden, can you hear me? Okay, so the mute's working. So yeah, with 7 mana left over...
The 2 cards you got in your hand, are they the same 2 cards you got on the table?
They are not. I left these here so that you knew that you could remember they were in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't expect most people to play like this, but in fun little casual games, it's a kind of a nice way to not have to write stuff down.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm going to lead with this resource. So if I go Blizzard and then Zap Giants, it leaves me with 5 open. I don't need 5 for anything. I could just pay 4 to shoot him, but I think the first thing we do is Zap Giants.
It's carrying on Eye of the Storm.
Yeah, go ahead. It can be used to tap protectors.
Okay, and I'm going to assume I don't actually need any resources to play it. I just decide when, and it can be played on your turn as well as mine.
That is correct. That's why it's so good. The only resource you need is it itself has to be able to tap, so don't spend it for resources if you intend on using it, and then you need your 4 counters. And the 4 counters can be hard to build up after you use them. But yeah, but that's the deal. I'm going to complete this quest, so I get to reveal these 3 and pick an ability. This flips over. Alright, so if I get a cinnamon roll, I'm already going to heal some from off Daedak, but I might just... This extra cinnamon roll will be really powerful. I could also get a spell suppression in case he gets something good. I mean, maybe that's the better play. I don't know that I need the extra healing from the cinnamon roll. Because I don't think he has any way to not kill this guy, and I'm going to be taking It's going to heal me for 9 already, so I really don't think I need the cinnamon roll. I'll take the spell suppression here. This goes on the bottom. Slide that under. You can see I dodged the cinnamon roll, which would heal me for a lot. But I also had that healing from this creature. So I have potentially a lot of healing in this deck. I'm choosing to ignore the cinnamon roll. And so by that, you should be able to use the information I'm telling you, which is I don't need extra healing. And, oops, that was stupid. So I don't need extra healing, but I do want a way to answer cards like to arms. This is my answer to arms if I don't counter it. I can just wait for you to spend 6, and I'll pay 1 and just turn it into nothing. So, just kind of reminding you. So you can use the information people give you when they quest to determine your own plays. And know that any card like arms that you play in the future, I have a direct answer for it. So that's going to go in my hand. Actually, I'll leave it here so you can see it. So we paid 2 for that. And then I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use my hero flip, shoot you for 2, and I draw. Blizzard, huh? I could. Yeah, I think I'm doing alright. I'm just going to throw a blizzard up. I'm going to put a blizzard on you. So, the blizzard, well, it's going to go off on your turn. So, here it goes. So, here's what happens. Blizzard now pings you for 1 damage. Just 1 frost damage. And then, if you took the damage, which you did, you cannot attack this turn.
Hold on, how do I stop the damage? I need to have something to counter it, right?
Yeah, well, you would probably need like armor or something like that, which most of the time you don't have a bunch of armor. But Blizzard also shoots all your allies, so you can't really armor against your allies. For Blizzard to go away, because otherwise it sits in play every turn, a card has to leave my hand, either by me playing a card, like a resource or a spell, or by you discarding and making the Blizzard fall off that way. Or
Okay.
you could even cast like Burn Away to just kill the Blizzard itself. You know I have cards like this, Flickers, and that lets me pull back ongoings from my... Let me just show you how my deck works. So this is my graveyard right now, these 2. Let's say you got rid of my Blizzard, and then it's in the graveyard too. I can cast Flickers and then get back Mana Agate and this. All 3 come back into play. So it'll be interrupting another card and putting a Blizzard back on you, and I get some more card advantage. So this card's very good, it's just very expensive.
You got the resources now.
Right. I don't know what your game plan is, but you might want to look to complete these quests soon. Even though... So, let me just show you how this would work. Even though I have a Mystic Denial, let's say you have like a 1-mana equipment. If you play it and it gets countered, it's fine because you still played it. You still cast that card. So, attempting to play it works for these 2 quests. In case you're just trying to draw to find you an answer to win this game. That's one way to do it. He's got a Broderick. Okay, that'll work. Broderick will pop the Mystic Denial. So Broderick gets countered and goes to the graveyard, and now my Mystic Denial goes to the graveyard. And we're going to up your dice over here to 2, so you remember you have Assault 2. There you go. So we're sitting at 8 health. Like, maybe it was a bad play to not take my cinnamon roll, but... Put these back in the graveyard. Now Flickers is going to be real big. Actually, I can just cast Flickers next turn, break my own Blizzard, put a
I'm going to
Mystic
take a
Denial,
gamble
and a
here,
Mana Agate
and then
back
you've
in
probably
play.
got an answer to it given your deck.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go for
Broderick costs 1, right?
He does, yeah, so there you go, that's paid for. And remind you, whatever your play is going to be, you can't attack this turn because Blizzard already hit you. There's just no way to get around it if it already got you. so he's paying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's gonna cast to arms. That resolves. I don't have an answer to that in my hand. Like, oh, I don't have a counter spell against it, so it's good. It's in play.
Have you got a counter?
Nope, it's good.
It's good, is it?
It's in play, man.
Okay. So that means I should be able to swing then because I've got no.
Well, it'll remove the strike cost, but you already took damage
Well,
from
it
the blizzard
reduces
this
swing
turn.
time, so I should be able to swing.
So it's not about paying. It's just about.
If you're saying something, Bradifer, I can't hear a
Really?
word.
Oh, I was tapping the wrong button.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was holding down my mute button. Just that was an accident. Regardless, still not gonna be able to actually attack this turn. Blizzard. That's what Blizzard does. So think of it like this: before you could even cast to arms, I don't know. I cast Blizzard on you, and you're just frozen. You're frozen for the turn, the entire turn.
Okay, so in other words, did the 6 go out or it didn't?
Yeah, this is in play. It's good to go, but Blizzard is freezing your hero right now. So just, even though it doesn't tap your hero, but just think of your hero as already tapped. Like he cannot attack because Blizzard froze him.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, he stays untapped, but you get it. So we draw. All right, this is muted. So I don't actually have an actual win condition right now, but I do think I want to go ahead and cast some flickers to get my Mystic Denial back in play. So I think I'm going to spell suppression this thing, and then Blizzard will break, and then I'm going to flickers back, and then Blizzard will come back into play. Alright, here's how this works. This ability goes on the stat. I think this is how this works. If you're a judge watching this or something, please let me know. So this ability leaves my hand, and it resolves. And I don't know if that happens before Blizzard, so that's... But the way I see it is if you're casting it, this breaks the moment you cast it. Is that right?
It needs to be less than or equal to the number of resources that you have. So 7 basically, right?
Yeah, I've got 9 right now, so it can get back some goodies. So I don't know if this works. We're gonna do it, and if it's the wrong play, then that's fine. We'll learn from it. But this is a big play. We get Mystic Denial back in play, so that's 5 of it. We get Mana Agate, that's 2 more, so that's 7. And we get Blizzard again. And then we have 2 resources, so we'll probably play this as our other one. And then we cast Spell Suppression on this thing. So it just has no text anymore. So this is just basically useless now.
Unless I can get that ability off, right?
That is correct. Yeah, if you have a way against that, that'll work. But I do have another Mystic Denial in play, so it's gonna. So start of your turn, you'll take 1 from Blizzard, and you're frozen again for the turn. So that'll end up putting you at 5 damage total. And your hero isn't actually tapped, but if you want to tap him to remember, that's fine. Just whatever helps you. So again, here's our board state. The opponent has this thing which would give his weapon +5 attack and 0 strike cost. But now it has no text and does nothing. Opponent's got this quest in play that can discard our abilities. One of them, but can just get rid of our strongest one. But we've silenced that as
So
well.
let me understand something here. At the moment, I'm frozen, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So is that ability, is that frozen counter attached to me as an ability?
It is not. No, it's think of it like this: your little rogue guy is trying to walk up to my mage, and I'm just
Hold on,
channeling
if you're
Blizzard.
speaking, I can't hear what you're saying.
I did it again. Sorry. So think of it like your little rogue dude's trying to walk over and attack me, but before he can even attempt to attack, I have a Blizzard on him, and so he can't even enter because it's like frozen everywhere. Like he just because he already took damage from the Blizzard this turn, he can't move basically.
Yeah, but hold on. Is it an ability that's doing that, or
Yeah, it's
what's
Blizzard.
causing it? And can the
Uh,
ability be countered?
you can, yeah, I mean, you can get rid of this ability, but for this turn, you already took the frost damage, and taking frost damage this turn is what prevents you from attacking. So basically, if you get hit by it once for the turn, your hero's done for the turn.
Right.
Or same with allies as well. And the counterplay against this thing is making me take a card out of my hand, like playing a resource or something, or just destroying it outright. Oh, at the end of your turn, I'm going to sacrifice Mana Agate here for 1, and I'll draw two more cards. Oh, that's my hand. Graveyard. Oh, another Flickers. That's kind of like game over for him. Should be a 2. Draw that. So here I've got this turn where I need to figure... Wrong. So here I have this turn I need to figure out if I play a resource, I'll kill my own Blizzard. And I'm not interested in killing my own Blizzard, so I'm just gonna... And the other thing is, since if you don't have a way to kill this Blizzard, it's just gonna stay in play and keep hitting you for 1, and you still can't attack. So I'm gonna get aggressive. I'm gonna take my Protector, and he's gonna swing in, and he's gonna hit you for 4. So what I want to do now is, since I...
Hold on. With that happening, if I wanted to, I could. I know I can't hit because he's frozen, right?
Yeah, I know it's kind of frustrating. You're trying to wrap your mind around. That seems overpowered. Yeah, it is. I mean, Blizzard is one of the best mage cards in the game. So until you find a way to get rid of it, I'm going to win this board state. So yeah, at start of your turn, and you'll take 1 more damage from this. So so you're going to go to 10.
Not so fast. Not so fast. I'm going to throw that out unless you got a counter for it, which you probably have.
Well, it's just that it doesn't work like you want it to. Um, this works against a number of other abilities, but it says that it destroys abilities attached to your hero, and this isn't attached to your hero. It's just my hero's just channeling it, basically. It's, I don't know.
Okay.
And the fact that your hero's untargetable doesn't matter, because this doesn't target. It doesn't say freeze target guy. It just says deal 1 damage to all your stuff.
Well, I'm still going to play it anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. That will crack the Mystic Denial.
Hold on. Not yet. Not yet. I'm not. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me stick out that quest first.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you at 10 because of the Blizzard. Okay, so that's good. What happens is you're playing an ability in the Mystic Denial, so that will get countered, and it's gone. So we counter each other's, basically. Which doesn't look like it was going to do much either way, but at least the Mystic Denial's off the table now. Yeah, and you did technically play it so you can complete this quest to draw. See if you can find an answer.
Yeah, no, not really. Oh, they got so much bloody good cards in that deck that would help me out, but they're just not coming through.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to concede, but basically my deck does very little. It doesn't do much at all. Until I get to the point where it becomes hard to win. Wait, did you just draw that? Because you can cast it, that's fine. I don't have a Mystic Denial in place, so if you cast this, I mean, I might have a counter, but I also might not.
So that's four to play.
And I will let that resolve. So it's in play.
And 1 to flip.
Hey, yeah, you're going off, man. See, even though you feel like the game might be on its way over, you still have quests you can still draw, you can still find some answers. You have good weapons in play, you just need to be able to attack.
So I just did the same again with the other equipment card.
Yep. Hopefully you get some action out of that. So our opponent completed 3 quests this turn, drew 3 extra cards. So he's drawn 4 cards this turn. He resolved a good axe, popped open a Mystic Denial, and drew 2 other cards. So he's doing some work. He's trying to climb his way out. But we have a good hand here. We're going to be able to cast slow on him, and then flickers back a Mystic Denial and the Blizzard and the Mana Agate.
Ooh, tough decision.
Well, I can't tell you what's in my hand, but what I can tell you was this resolved. I have a bunch of counters in my deck that don't all work the same way. Like Mystic Denial will counter anything. Some of them are a little more specific, like maybe they'll only counter allies or only counter abilities or whatever. But if you were able to resolve something against all these open resources, that might be telling that at least I don't have a way to counter ability equipment that costs 4, or I don't want to. So
I don't actually understand what you're saying.
okay. So like
Without
all
making
I
it
know
too
is
obvious.
yeah. Well, all I know is that you drew 2 cards and you have 2 resources open. So the only thing you can try to do is use the information that, hey, my opponent's deck, which is basically just counter spells, and he let me resolve this super, super good axe, why would he do that? Either he doesn't have the counter spells for it, which he has 5 cards in hand and a bunch of 9 open mana, so that doesn't seem right. Actually, it's 10 open mana. So the other option is my opponent doesn't care about this card because he has like a bunch of blizzards and I'm never going to get to attack anyway. So that's the other line of thought on it. Or maybe my opponent didn't want to cast a counter in this because counter will break his blizzard. I know you're still newer to the game and you're like, wow, that's kind of deep. But that's what you can learn. That's the information you can learn as the opponent. So if you have something good in your hand that only costs 2, maybe that will help you decide, I do want to cast it this turn or I don't. But that's going to be up to you. There is no obvious yes or no. It's just your call. Hey, that guy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's going to resolve. He's good. He's in play. Oh, you know what? So here's a cool play. Your hero is not actually tapped from Blizzard. He's not tapped. Let me repeat that. And this ability,
How did you work that out though? Because I
well,
thought that.
Blizzard doesn't tap you. I just made it easier to. It doesn't actually tap you. You get to stay untapped. But I was just helping you realize that you've never played against this card, so you can think about it as never letting you attack, but it doesn't actually tap you. Why does that matter? Because now you are allowed to use that ability instantly. Even though the ally just came into play, the ally doesn't have the ability. He gives your hero the ability to tap, pay 1, and draw an equipment card from your graveyard. I don't know if you have any of
Oh,
those.
really?
You do not have any. Oh, yeah, you do. You've got 2 equipments. You've got Boundless Agony
Yeah.
and Calamity Grasp. So yeah, you actually have the resources as well. So you could this turn go ahead and pay 1, tap your hero, and put one of those equipments into your hand.
Okay. So I can't actually. No, I can. So if he's not tapped, that means I could attack now, right?
No, it's here, read this card. Read it for a little while. A character dealt damage this way can't attack this turn.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, hey, which equipment did you get? Boundless. Okay, you can keep it in your hand. Thank you. We're going to untap and draw one. So at most, this will draw him another equipment. But the equipment he can get is Calamity's Grasp, and Calamity's Grasp will be able to kill my Blizzard or kill something in the future. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to take my Protector here, and I'm going to attack into your creature that gave you that ability. So you already got some value off it, but I'm going to finish him off and kill him so that can't do it anymore. He's got 0 attack, so I don't take anything back, but I don't have Protector for the turn. And let me see what my other plays are. So this is my graveyard. It's 2 Mystic Denials, a Mana Agate. So we can go 1, 2, 3 for slow, 1, 2 for cinnamon roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I can't do all that. Alright, so let's... I'm going to cast a slow on you, which breaks my Blizzard that falls in the graveyard.
One card per turn. Seriously. So that means card in my hand on the table. It doesn't mean what's already on the table there, right?
Yeah, it's correct. It means you can only cast one actual spell, but you can still play a resource and cast a spell. Because playing a resource doesn't count as playing a card. Really doubt I'm going to need both of these, so I'm going to put that on the bottom. I have another Flickers, so I'm going to cast it again. So this is the trap my deck puts you in. So that's 6, so that's another 5. So we have 11 mana, so we get to have... Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're Blizzarded again. Flickers goes back in the graveyard.
Far out.
Yeah, this is how my deck works, and I pass.
It actually reminds me of playing WoW, and you're going against a mage, and you're like freaking Frost Nova every 2 seconds.
Yeah, if you're trying to... Do you play arenas?
Oh, I used to.
Yeah. Okay, so start of your turn, the Blizzard's going to ping you again. It's frustrating. I'm just making sure you understand at least how it works. So it's just basically, if you took damage, the rule says you can't attack.
Okay.
I have a lot more other decks that are more enjoyable to play against. I just you thought you wanted to rematch, so... Slow Mage is slow.
Okay, so let me understand something here.
Yeah.
Of everything you got on the table that's tying me down and stopping me from doing anything, it's all geared to equipment and abilities, right?
Oh, you mean, do I not have many answers to allies in my deck? Well,
I'm just simply asking a question, yeah.
Yeah, so my deck, you're right, this deck probably has better answers to abilities and equipment, so it depends. Cards like these, Spell Suppressions, these don't really work well against allies because they still get to punch and attack every turn. But cards like Blizzard Decimate allies, it'll deal 1 to all of them over and over again, so it'll eventually just kill off the allies. This Protector's really good, he'll trade against the allies. I resourced this card earlier, and this is basically a board wipe. Usually you cast it like for 3, so you deal 3 damage to 3 creatures, so it's an instant like kill 3 creatures spell, or at least deal damage to them. And then also all the equipment and abilities I counted from you, that would have been an ally player's allies. So he wouldn't have a bunch of allies in play. He would have the one ally let resolve.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay 2.
Mm-hmm. Dagex. Dagex definitely gets around Blizzard, and you can kill me if you have a bunch of Dagexes, but the problem is the Mystic Denial is going to counter the Dagex. So if you want to wait a turn, I'm just reminding you that's here. Maybe you have a crappy card you want to throw out to use up the Mystic Denial.
Yes.
Yeah, you can kind of see what we're heading towards. Um,
I freaking hate that card, man.
it's not you, Golden. It's just this deck. So that's why I was curious if you wanted to play this. So yeah, this is pretty much just the bait. Sure, pay 3 for that, and then this countered. Oh, you already paid 2, so yeah. So then they'll trade places, and then since I've got a slow in play, that's pretty much the end of your turn. You can only play 1 spell, so you can still play a resource if you'd like.
No, that's fine.
All right.
I've got more than enough on the board. I can't believe that deck, though. It's horrendous.
All right.
That's
So
a compliment.
it does its job well. Can I say? If I didn't silence this quest, see another way again, just another way to break Blizzard. If you have a discard spell, making me discard makes the Blizzard fall off. So I can just tell you what I'm doing. I have 34 cards in my deck. One of them will kill you. Actually, about 3 of them will stop the game from ever playing or going on anymore. But for now, it's going to be... I'm just going to pass over a bunch. So, pass back to you. Because I need my Blizzard to stay in play. So then, Blizzard's going to ping you for 1. So you'll get plinked to 12. Which I'll hit. I'm explaining crap too much. What I need to be doing is using this. Alright, in response, I'm going to sack this mana agate for 1. See if I can draw an answer to that guy. Draw 2 cards. No. Daggek comes into play. He's good. He resolves. Yeah. He has ferocity and stealth, so my hero can't even defend, or my ally can't attack, so I will take 5. Put me at 22. I got 3 health. You know what? I didn't. This is in the video. I'm not talking about it, but
I've got slow on, so I can't play another card, right?
Taste of Arcana could just kill this creature at instant speed. It's usually a counter spell, but it's
Is that
also
right,
that is correct. Yeah, you're slowed, so this 1 spell did resolve, and then that's the end of your turn, and then you're blizzarded, so you can't attack. All right, so we're back to my turn. Let's untap, draw. All right, I think I found a way to just shut this game down. Let me check my math. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 resources. Actually, is that true? Because... Oh, yeah, that's right. He gives me a lot of health. Yeah, that'll be fine. So we play a quest. A card left my hand, so it break the blizzard. Blizzard's gone. You defeated that blizzard raid boss. And then we will cast Thrall.
I knew this was coming.
So our health went up a bunch. We don't have 3 health anymore. I still have 22 damage, but I went from 3 to 40, so I have 18 health now. We played our resource, cast a card, so I'm up to 4 counters on this thing now. I'm going to attack you with this ally. So I actually misplayed. I should have definitely attacked first with this creature and then cast Thrall afterwards, so his Eye of the Storm can't tap both.
Sorry, man. Say that again, that last bit.
Yeah, I'm just going to swing for 4 with this creature. And let me remind you, you've got this Eye of the Storm in play. So I have a hero that can attack now too. So my creature can swing for 4. My hero's going to be able to swing for 5. I'm going to be able to 9 you this turn. And then if my hero attacks, he gets to put a 5/5 in play, which is also a protector. So bad things for you. If I'm you, I'm pretty sure I tap my opponent down and hope to get out of this. So we'll do that. We'll tap both of my guys. And you lose your 4 counters. And then I'm going to hit pass turn. Or am I? Let me see. I can either keep open, counter. Yeah, that seems best. I'm going to hit in turn. So here's what I have in play. You still have a slow on you, so you can only cast 1 spell. And I have an Eye of the Storm. So if you land a big equipment and you're like, oh yeah, I can finally kill him, I'll just tap you down. But also I have 18 health, so... It's a rough game, but at least I found the winning card, so...
You're great. rubbish had just come through then that did not help me one bit. Look, if this can't, well, even if this can go through, I think I'll call it anyway.
Yeah, so here's what I would do. I'm going to let that resolve, and then as soon as he comes into play, then I Eye the Storm and tap your creature and your hero. So what you'd want to do is, before you cast him, since Eye the Storm has to be activated at one time to tap a bunch of stuff, you'd want to prompt me to use this before playing that creature, which means you would want to swing with your hero to get me to tap your hero down, and then play him afterwards. Yeah, well, let's go through that real quick. Here, put him back in your hand, and I'll show you what I would have done if that was the play. So you know that's in your hand, and you're like, okay, I've got 5 damage for that guy. But in play, you also have Maimgor's Bite does a total of 2, and then
I think this is where I'm getting confused. I'm thinking that because of this card here that I can only do one thing, but that's not the case.
it's this one. Well, it's not that you can't do other things; it's that you can only cast one spell. But all this stuff's in play. Yes, you could swing with both of those for free, and in fact, you'd probably want to go ahead and flip your hero too. I think we forgot about that like 5 turns ago, but whatever. It's just something we should do. And then I would have to decide, do I want to let this rogue's attack through? I'd add up your damage. It'd be 2 from the Millennium Blade, which gets doubled to 4, and then 2 from the Maimgor's axe. So it's like, do I want to take 6 here? And I would probably, plus 2 more from the Broderick's would be 8, plus 1 more from your hero power would be 9. So no, I don't want to take 9. I will just tap my Eye of the Storm and tap your hero, so I don't take 9. I don't know how all these got turned sideways. I think we only paid 3 though, so that's your board. So that was my play. I Eye the Storm to your hero, so he couldn't attack. Now is your opportunity to play Dagex and get in for damage, because I don't have an Eye of the Storm to tap him down. I actually still have a removal spell for Dagex, but I want the point of this to go through.
Yeah.
So yeah, in a real game, I would just taste that guy, kill him too.
See what happens.
Yeah, that'll go through for 5, and I'll take 5. And then poor old Dagex kills himself. See ya.
I love that card though. Does a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, well, he doesn't help a board state, but he's good at finishing games up. And then, well, I have Thrall who heals 5 anyways, so much for that. But that's the master hero for you. They kind of put the game out of reach. Okay, so at this point, let's see. Can I kill you this turn? I would go 5 you, 4 more, so that'd be 9. So that's lethal right there. And then I can go... So that's already lethal, but I could also... Remember this interrupt from earlier? This is the one that makes you pay 1 more.
Yep.
This interrupt can either deal damage to you, or it can deal damage to a creature. So here's one that a lot of people wouldn't see this play. Use my removal spell on my own creature, so that when he dies, he'll go ahead and shoot you for, I think, 12 right now. So I would swing for 4, swing for 5, so that's 9 damage. So in case that wasn't already lethal, like, if you had a bunch of health left, then I would just kill off my own creature, ping you for 12, and that would end the game as well. I've got time for another. Why don't we play with a deck that is a little more fun to play against?
Yeah, well, do you remember the DK deck I made ages ago? I wouldn't mind seeing how the revised version of that one goes, if you want to do that.
Alright, let me stop this and we'll go from there.